Join us as we visit Pueblo Mágico number 66, Tonatico, and number 67, Ixtapan de la Sal.
We are Georgia and David. In March of 2022, we quit our jobs to travel the world full-time. We are currently exploring Mexico, and our goal is to visit 100 Pueblos Mágicos. Today we've driven about an hour and a half from Cuernavaca to La Gruta de la Estrella, which is very close to the Pueblo Mágico of Tonatico.
Yeah, today the goal is actually to hit 2 Pueblo Mágicos. Tonatico is just about 10 minutes from Ixtapan de la Sal. And from what I could see online, the main thing to do in Ixtapan de la Sal is their balnearios, or their like hot springs. And they also have, I believe, the largest water park in Latin America. And so since we aren't going to do either of those things, I think we can get 2 knocked out in a day, but we'll see. Right now we're headed down about 400 stairs to the inside of the Gruta. And then, of course, we got to make those same 400 stairs on the way back out. So hopefully it's worth it. We'll see. So when we got to the bottom of the stairs, there was a chain across the path, and a guy told us that you have to have a guide and that we needed to wait about 15 minutes for the next guided tour. So we're just waiting around now.
This cave was beautifully lit, and I can definitely see why they require you to have a guide. In certain sections, we were weaving through stalactites and stalagmites, and just one bump could set back their growth tens of thousands of years.
Una pareja de novios.
Yeah, I can see it.
Un cocodrilo, la cabeza, el ojo, su hocico y el cuerpo hacia atrás. Su cuerpo y sus tenazas, un alacrán o escorpión.
One very interesting thing that we learned from our guide is that the acoustics in this cave are so good that they occasionally hold concerts here.
Un sillón.
So we just finished up our tour of the Gruta, and it ended up being a private tour.
The guide did only speak Spanish, though, so there's just something to be aware of. It was a really nice tour, though. He had flashlights, and he was able to show us all these different figures inside, which was really cool. And now we're about 2/3 done way with the 400 steps back up, but it's not too bad. There were a lot of slippery places in the cave, though, where I had to grab a railing or the guide held my hand. So that's just something to be aware of, is that it is extremely slick in some places because the water and the minerals are still dripping down. And it was kind of cool. We could actually see that on some of the handrails where it was trying to build stalagmites up from the concrete barrier. So that was kind of neat, but definitely recommend stopping by if you're in the area. I think next we are going to either a waterfall
Or some old church
or
thing.
yeah, a church ruin. So let's go and explore some more.
So 10 minutes up the road from La Gruta is Pueblo Viejo.
Which, as you may be able to see behind us, is an old church that has now become a ruin. There's no one else here, so we're gonna go check it out.
Just drove another 2 minutes down the road to El Salto.
As you may be able to hear, there is a waterfall here. We did pay 20 pesos per person to enter the little park. There's a little old lady taking tickets, and there's a little stand selling like micheladas and rusas and stuff. So we're gonna go on this little hike and see if we can find the waterfall.
So it doesn't look like that 20 pesos per person is enough to keep this place maintained.
Unfortunately, things are a bit run down, and the main attraction, which is the big hanging bridge, you can't go on anymore. It's no longer safe, so you don't really even get a great view of the waterfall. You can hear it and you can kind of see it if you stand on your tiptoes, but overall, I don't really think it was worth it to come here. It's kind of disappointing. I honestly just wish they charged more and were able to maintain this place, because you can tell that it used to be pretty cool.
After the waterfall, we made the short drive into town in search of some lunch. So lunch at Restaurante Rebeca was excellent and very well priced.
Yeah, the only warning I'll give you is that there is no menu. The guy comes to your table and then just
Rattles
says, as quickly as humanly possible, everything that they offer. I ended up getting the rabbit in adobo sauce.
And I got the cecina, which is just a dried beef that's been cooked.
And then we split a gordita de requesón, which is basically like a ricotta cheese. Super, super delicious. They gave us this giant handmade tortilla. We got Coronas and waters, and it was really, really good. Highly recommend. But now we got the letters behind us, so we're gonna grab our picture. Oh, and I know my hair has just really, really gotten beat up today.
It's amazing.
Inside the gruta, or the cave, it was super, super humid. Normally the caves are like cool and dry, but this one, all the air gets trapped. There's no like airflow, and so it is just super humid and sticky, so it has definitely poofed out my hair, but you know, it is what it is.
After grabbing our family photo and checking out the kiosco, we headed on to the main church. So wow, their church is freaking amazing.
Yeah, especially for a Pueblo Mágico of this size. I would say this is one of the smaller Pueblo Mágicos we've been to, and yet that church was one of the more impressive that we've seen. There were a couple like side chapels with small cupolas that were just intricately decorated with a ton of gold, but the main like feature here is their Mary, and she is absolutely surrounded by 24 karat gold. So really, really cool. Highly recommend.
You had to walk up a
stopping
bunch
by.
of stairs to get to it too.
Yeah, you actually like from the pulpit, you take stairs around the side and you can climb up and get a close-up view of the Mary. So definitely recommend stopping by if you're in the area. But now we are on to Ixtapan de la Sal, which is just a 10-minute drive up the road and a second Pueblo Mágico here in the state of Mexico.
So we made it to Ixtapan de la Sal, which is a lot busier than the neighboring town of Tonatico.
Yeah, definitely bigger, busier, and we were able to just like park on the side of the road. We had to pay for parking here, so that's just something to be aware of because today is a Thursday, so I can only imagine on the weekends how busy it is. As I mentioned before, this place is known for its natural therapeutic hot springs as well as its giant water park. But our missions for the day are to check out the fountain, the archery sculpture, and the church, and also, of course, get our picture with the letters.
After checking out the church, we stopped to check out the kiosco and the fountain, but unfortunately the fountain was drying off.
Well, we decided to stop and get ice cream. I got the Zarzamora queso, which is like cream cheese and blackberry, and I also got the fresas con crema, which is strawberries and cream. What did you get?
Cafe and choco chip. Our last stop before heading back to Cuernavaca is to get our picture in front of the letters.
The letters are located about a kilometer outside of town, in front of a statue of a female archer. Which is also in front of the entrance to most of the water parks and spas that are in the area. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. And if you haven't already, check out last week's video where we visit Tlaicaipan and Tepoztlan.